Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining webinar hosted by RBS Intellect for Victoria University of Wellington. We are in our webinar series. Thank you for people who joined early this week or late last week. That is Sunday for our webinar. Look forward to giving as many answers today. We have a special guest with us in any case, but I'll do some housekeeping rules and briefing also. So everyone who has joined again, you are welcome to ask your questions on Q&A box. We will be answering all questions after all the presentations are finished. As giving a brief, RBS Intellect is, we are working with a lot of providers, more than 100 providers in New Zealand only, and more than 350 providers across multiple countries. As what we do, we run sessions and webinars for all our students and prospective students. And today we have Victoria University of Wellington with us, which is QS rank 240, if I'm not wrong, Martin, you correct me. And we are in top 500 currently. We are here, our speakers today, so I'll ask Martin to briefly introduce himself. 15 seconds, Martin, and soon then over to you after that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Martin. I'm from the International Office at Victoria University. I'm a Senior International Manager, and I do look primarily after the South Asian market, the Middle East and Africa, but I do have some experience also in Southeast Asia and other markets. So yeah, thanks for joining.
Hello, everyone. This is Sun Lim. I'm based in Auckland. We are a team of RBS Immigrations. We have a team of 5-6 people that are licensed, and some based in Auckland, some based overseas in Vietnam, South America, and Australia. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, guys. And I mean, we will be covering a lot of things about Martin and Sun in any case when they run their presentations. So as giving a brief for everyone, guys, I'll cover New Zealand. I mean, I'm director of RBS Intellect, roughly 20 years in education sector. I've been in New Zealand for the last 13 years, and we're trying to make sure that we give as many options and questions. With my previous role and current role, we've been supported roughly 18,000 students for New Zealand. Though we support for other countries too, so we're not counting that. So giving a background, New Zealand is, we always call New Zealand as the middle of Earth. We are not on eastern side of the world, but we are middle of a lot of locations where you can see we are 12 hours away from flight from North America. We are 14 hours away from China. For people coming from subcontinent, we are roughly 16 to 18 hours away. We have some direct flights, except we called subcontinent. I hope Air New Zealand will be flying soon, as that's another cap and area I sit in. We are close to Australia. We are one of the Commonwealth country, and New Zealand itself is not landlocked, so we have potential. We have less potential risk and more safe country as compared to others. Now, why choosing New Zealand? I believe Martin will talk a lot. I'll cover a brief again. New Zealand offers roughly 5,500 qualifications or programs across, if I say 200 plus regulated or institutions for international students. If there is a lot of opportunities, a lot of options. We do have space-related programs too in New Zealand. One of a key player in launching satellites, where New Zealand is getting known too. We are ranked 3rd safest country in the world. New Zealand was one of the first countries to start in-study work right and pastoral care code for international student. What I add always every time, all money you pay to New Zealand institution is safe and secured through New Zealand government. So, which is one thing which can be fair. If anything goes wrong, it is not an issue. Though we are talking about Victoria University today, which is one of the 8 government universities, or which means that you are working in a very regulated manner in any case. Now, New Zealand, apart from education, we are known, what we call Swiss for East. We have a lot of great sceneries, and we have a lot of adventure tourism in our South Island and some North Island also. We'll cover more. I believe Martin has some great slides also to cover in. But one of the beautiful landscapes, safest destination, and a great destination to come with the family. Now, New Zealand education system, we are a Commonwealth or British education system regulated from there. We have similar qualification, master's, bachelor's, postgraduate, and doctorate. One of the different thing what we do is that we have levels named for those qualifications or programs. So if you see level 10 on your offer letter or your on website of university, that's the doctoral degrees, PhD qualifications. If there are masters, level 9, postgraduate diploma, PhD certificate, and bachelors are level 8, and bachelors are called level 7. Below that are level 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which are offered by various institutions from perspective of what they are coming on and going into. Now, universities, when we are talking about Victoria University, we cover from level 4 to level 10 onwards, primarily because it's a tertiary education sector. For a lot of institutions in tertiary sector, level 4 and level 10 is more important area compared to level 1 to level 3. That is covered by schools or other polytechnics or private providers. Now, one thing which is different from Australia or UK or Canada or US, when I say Canada, Australia, and UK, all providers are eligible for post-study work options in New Zealand. We have similar guidelines for institutions at different tier or different level in terms of post-study work right or what they're coming for. Now, yes, universities do have more programs to offer compared to other providers. So we will talk about Victoria University today in depth. Now, last slide from my end. Do remember New Zealand require English as kind of entry requirement for their programs. If you are not coming for destinations which are not approved by NZQA, or if university is not waiving your IELTS. For example, if you studied in UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, or Australia, there is possibility that it will be waived. But if you are coming from destinations, English is not first language. You need to do English language test, which can be IELTS, PTE, language cert. I mean, there are roughly 10 tests, different type of tests which New Zealand institution recognize, apart from our own New Zealand certificate of English language. And universities can recognize Duolingo, which I believe Victoria have some options there. And there are opportunities where they can waive off on the basis of your previous English studies. Now, I leave it for Martin to cover those. And this is where Martin takes over. And Martin, you can share your screen.
All right. Can I just double check that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see it now. And I'll mute myself. Thank you very much. And while Martin starts, we just want everyone, please ask your questions in Q&A box. We will be answering all questions on a Q&A on a chronological order. So please ask questions at first. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Just if you wonder why I keep looking down every now and then, I have my phone here, so I just keep in a time limit because I can talk for hours, so that's just why. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, my name is Martin. I'm from the international office. I'm a senior international manager. I'm based in Wellington, and today I talk a little bit about Wellington as a study destination as well as our university. So the picture that you see in front of you, this is Wellington City Centre, and that is located at a big, beautiful harbour. Our university has 3 campuses. So our main campus is up here on the top of the hill. We have another campus which is closer here to the waterfront, and a third one that's around the corner from that mountain, which you cannot see right now. But there will be another slide where you see that a little bit better. Now, why is my slide not moving? Here we go. So for those of you who are not so familiar with New Zealand, so we are a island nation in the South Pacific. We consist of 2 main islands, very, very imaginary names like North Island and South Island, so they're not really creative. The population is approximately 5 million people, and the landmass is about the same as the UK. We have very stunning landscapes. You have probably seen this in a couple of movies. They are featured, for example, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and others. We have a great work-life balance. I think it's even ranked the best work-life balance in the world, a diverse population. It's an open, curious society. And when I say this, I am not a New Zealander myself, although I do hold a New Zealand passport now, but I'm an immigrant myself, originally from Germany. Have been living here for the last 15 years. New Zealand's also often highly ranked in international comparisons. It is a very clean and green country. It is a very safe country, and and a very family-friendly country as well. Now, when it comes to Wellington, so the red dot marks where we are. We are at the bottom end of the North Island, so pretty much in the center of the country. We are not the largest city of New Zealand. However, we are indeed the capital. We have the highest median income in New Zealand, and you can see we have an extensive coastline around the area, so you will always be close to water. Wellington also has a nickname called Windy Wellington, so we always have a bit of a breeze going on, and sometimes we get some really stormy weather here as well. That adds a little bit to the flavor. As I mentioned, there is a great diverse population in New Zealand, and it is also reflected in Wellington, with about 34% being born overseas. Wellington has approximately 500,000 people, so a 500,000 medium-sized city for New Zealand standards, medium-sized city. And it is a very compact city, so it's very easy to get around. We have a pretty reliable public transport system, which mainly consists of buses, gets you anywhere where you need to go. The temperature range somewhere between 5 and 25 degrees, so it's not getting really cold, it's not dropping below zero, and it's not getting too hot either. If you are a foodie, Wellington is your spot. We are the culinary capital of New Zealand, and apparently we're also the coffee capital of New Zealand. I say apparently because I don't drink coffee. I cannot vouch for that, but people tell me there is a pretty mean brew down here. So if you are fueled on caffeine, that's the right spot for you. Now, our university, as mentioned before, we are a public university. We have the 3 campuses across the city. We also have some smaller study centers that are additional to the campuses, but 3 actual campuses. Our student body is about 22,000 students strong, and of that, about 3,000 are international students. As you can see, we have a very a large number of international students. We have not the largest number in New Zealand, but we have the best diversity of international students amongst them. We also have a strong international outlook. As you can see, we have partnerships in 145 institutions in the world, and we are quite a research-heavy university with about 43 research institutions associated with us. So here is our Wellington City Centre from another angle, and you can see our 3 campuses highlighted. We start with the one on the left, which is called Pipitea campus. This is also where the international office is based. Then the main campus up at the top of the hill, that is called Kelburn campus. And over to the right is Te Aro campus, our creative campus. To give you an idea about distances in Wellington, I can walk from Pipitea to Te Aro in about 25 minutes. So it's a very walkable distance. And as I said, there is public transport if you don't want to walk, or if it rains or whatever. So it's very easy to get around. Now, let's have a look at our campuses in particular. So our main campus at the top, we have Kelburn. There we have the Faculty of Education, Health and Psychology, the Faculty of Science and Engineering, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the Faculty of Graduate Research. Graduate Research is a non-teaching faculty. They only look after our research and PhD students. To the right, our creative campus with architecture and design. And down at the bottom are our 2 buildings from Pipitea campus. To the left is our business school and the School of Government, and to the right is our law faculty. Now, we are quite proud to have a quite diverse range of alumni that have left a mark in this world, so quite notable. As you can see, we have 4 Oscar winners with 5 Oscars amongst them. We have Sam Neill. Everyone who has seen Jurassic Park knows Sam Neill. We have a Booker Prize winner. She got a prize for a book called The Luminaries. We have a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, Professor or Sir Alan McDermott. We have probably maybe you don't know of him, but I do know of him because he's also German, Alexander Gerst. He went to the International Space Station, and he is now training in, Australian astronauts to do the same. We have a former Governor General amongst our alumni, and we have 3 former prime ministers as our alumni as well. So it's quite a variety, and you can see if you look at the degrees that they have studied, if you are looking for fame, it seems the Bachelor of Arts is the one to go with. Most of those who have made it, they studied Bachelor of Arts with us. We do not guarantee fame, but maybe that's a good place to start. Now, our university is also ranked. There is a New Zealand internal ranking, which is done every couple of years, and we came out on top of that ranking twice in a row. And then there are also international rankings. So, for example, there's the QS ranking, which is probably the most known or popular ranking in the world, and we are in the top 2% out of about 18,000 universities. But you see also in their subject rankings, we have a number of subjects that are ranked in the top 100. There are other rankings, for example, the Shanghai ranking or the Times Higher Education ranking. They usually have different priorities that they look at. For example, they are very heavy on research areas. And you can see that our artificial intelligence program is in the top 50 worldwide for Shanghai, and the Times Higher Education ranks our law school top in New Zealand. So I think rankings is a good indicator overall how good a university is. Obviously, it always depends on the individual situation and what you're looking for, whether they apply to you or not. What is important, though, is accreditations and industry recognitions, and we do have quite a few of those as well. Our business school is Triple Crown accredited. What that means is that you can see those 3 institutional organizations. They are AQUIS, AACSB, and EMBA. They are institutions that rank business schools across the globe, and only if you have a good ranking from all 3 of them, that's called Triple Crown. Also, if you're interested in accounting programs, we do have all the necessary accreditations for Australia and New Zealand. And if you are interested in engineering programs, they are all under the Washington Accord, which means they are recognized throughout the world. The others are probably a little bit more niche, but if they apply to you, then you will be glad that we have those accreditations. Now, we run a trimester system, which is very much the same as a semester system, just that we call our summer school not summer school, but trimester 3. Our main trimester is trimester 1. That actually, for this year, starts on Monday, so it's just around the corner. And so it's always late February, early March. Then we have trimester 2, which starts in July, and we have then trimester 3, or our summer school, that starts in November. So almost all programs start in February. We have also a good chunk of programs that start in July. The trimester 3 start is a smaller intake. Now, let's start with undergraduate programs and work our way upwards. So if you're interested in studying a bachelor's degree with us, so you are likely to come with a high school qualification or a foundation studies program. We have one entry point. That means you need to meet this one entry score, and then you have access to all of our bachelor's degree. So the entry requirements per bachelor degree do not vary. There's 1 point. Once you meet that, you have the free choice of our bachelor's programs. Obviously, the academic requirements, I cannot speak to this here because there's such a variety of nationalities on this call. But I can speak to the English requirements because they apply to everyone who needs to provide an English evidence. So here I have outlined them in IELTS because this is what most students are probably familiar with. For the undergraduate programs, you need an IELTS of 6 with no band less than 5.5. But we also accept TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, Cambridge. We also accept some English grades from certain high school qualifications. So there is a part of our website where we list all of this. So very detailed, you will find your program or your test there. There is an exception, the Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Midwifery. They do require an IELTS of 7, no band less than 7. Now, for our bachelor's degrees, there are two types. There is a structured degree and there is a flexible degree. You will see, I have listed the programs here. You see the duration. Most of them are 3 years. Some of them are 4. Then how many majors there are and whether there's a single major option or a double major option. Single majors are structured degrees. Double majors means you can do double majors. Double majors does not mean you study longer or more courses, or you have to pay more. You still study the same number of courses. You just give your degree a different structure. So if you're interested in a flexible degree, you may be interested in a double major. So I will not touch on all of the bachelor's degrees, but just highlighting a few. Architectural studies, if you want to become an architect, this is probably the first starting point. And for our architecture and our design program, we do not require you to have a portfolio when you apply for first year entry. Then we have building science, we have construction, they all fall into that architecture and building area. And then we have design innovation, where we offer, for example, graphic design, animation, visual effects, game design, industrial design, and so on and so forth. Then we have humanities. We have a Bachelor of Arts, our most flexible program and the biggest one in terms of majors. We have about 43 majors there. Global studies, slightly different structures. There are no majors. You do a language and then you pick 2 to 3 minors. Bachelor of Politics is our latest program that we added this year. Communication, and then we obviously have also 2 music options, including classical and jazz performance. Faculty of Science and Engineering, so Bachelor of Science, very popular program, 26 majors. And of course, we have the classical science, biology, chemistry, physics, but we also do actuarial science, we do data science, we have statistics, we have marine biology, and so on and so forth. So have a look at the website to see what you can do. We have a dedicated program for environment and society. We have a biomedical program, and our engineering bachelor's is our engineering faculty focuses on IT-based engineering only. So that means we don't do civil, we don't do chemical or mechanical. What we do is cybersecurity, electronics, mechatronics, software development, so in that space. Faculty of Education, Health and Psychological Sciences. We have a Bachelor of Early Childhood Education if you want to become an early childhood teacher. We have a Bachelor of Health. That's a non-clinical program. So here's, for example, digital health, health promotion, health psychology. We have a midwifery program, and we have a dedicated program for our psychology programs. We are quite highly ranked in psychology. And then last but not least, at the undergraduate space, we have the Bachelor of Commerce. Again, we have the classics, accounting, management, marketing, economics. But we also offer, again, actuarial and data science can be studied under this program as well. We have taxation, we have tourism management. And then we have a Bachelor of Laws. And a Bachelor of Laws in New Zealand, once you complete that, you actually get admitted to the bar and you can practice as a lawyer in New Zealand. Now, if you're interested in master degrees, there are 2 types. We have those ones, the traditional master's programs, and they usually require students to have a relevant background. Some master programs are more flexible. They accept a wide variety of backgrounds. Some of them are a bit more specific, and the backgrounds that they accept is a little bit more narrow. On the other hand, we have what we call conversion masters, and that can be studied with any background. I will try my best to point them out. We do not require GMAT or GRE, And for the English requirements, you can see here we are requiring an IELTS of 6.5 with no band less than 6. Again, the other English tests apply. We also accept if you have studied in an English-speaking country before, and if you meet certain criteria, then English can be waived. There are some exceptions. So our Master of Laws, our teaching programs, our nursing program, and our PhD in Law and Education have higher English requirements. Now, I cannot show all of our master degrees because we have a lot of them. So this is really just a selection, but I just want to talk you through some of them. International relations, political science, anything in that space, we are the perfect university to study because actually Parliament is right across the road from our campus. We can actually see it. And we have access to government departments, ministries, politicians, to the embassies that are in our vicinity and so on. So it's a great place to go. We are strong in languages and linguistics. For science, computer science, data science, we are the largest, now I need to remember that word, largest research society in artificial intelligence in the Southern Hemisphere. So we are very strong in that space. We have a lot of programs related to environmental issues, and we keep growing in that space as well. For education, health and psychology, so a Master of Health, we have health leadership and management, we have health promotion that are quite popular programs, psychology, nursing programs, we have teacher training programs as well. And then we have the business program. So here I want to point out a few of those conversion masters. So global business, professional accounting, professional business analysis. They can all be studied with any background. We do have an architecture program that if you have a bachelor in architecture already and you want to have registration as an architect in New Zealand, there's a program there for you. User experience design is another conversion masters, international trade as well, Master of Law, construction law. Now, if you are already beyond masters and you're looking at PhD, then this is going to be a treat for you. So in New Zealand, PhD programs are usually 3 to 4 years, and they are research only. There's no taught content. The big perk here is that international PhD students pay domestic fees in New Zealand. Okay, so they are subsidized by the government. And then there's other perks like the student gets in-study work rights. There's the work rights for a partner or spouse. And if you bring children to New Zealand, they pay domestic fees at New Zealand schools. So it's quite a package. And then, of course, there's post-study work visa opportunities. So if you are interested in PhD programs, there is it's a separate application process to any of the other programs, and there are different application deadlines and so on. So I really encourage you to have a look at our website and read the information there because they differ quite a bit from any of the other programs as well. Now, if you need to top up your English, we do have an English program which sits within our Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And this program can lead to any of our degrees unless the English requirements comes from external. That would be midwifery, nursing, and teaching. Then you still need to provide an approved English test afterwards. If you have completed high school and your high school qualification is not recognized or you didn't get the grades that you needed, then we also have a foundation studies program which is offered by our partners at Up Education, and that is somewhere between 6 and 18 months, mainly depending on your English ability. If you already started a bachelor's degree somewhere and you may want to transfer into our university, then you can apply for that. Not all programs allow credit transfer, but most of them do. Of course, there is a little bit more than just academic studies. We also have a great leadership program called KITEA, and this is basically a global competence and global citizenship program. It is a fun program. It is a good way for students to meet other students as well. You don't have to sign up for this beforehand. You can do that when you have orientation. But it is a really meaningful program that helps you to connect with other students, and also it's enjoyable. It's a fun program as well. We also have a lot of clubs and societies, so about 140 clubs and societies. You can actually look them all up on our website. There's a club register. They're all listed there. If there's a hobby that you would like to continue, or if you want to try something new, have a look there to see what we offer. Accommodation. So we start off with the living cost. There's a visa requirement that you have to have living funds for per year of 20,000 New Zealand dollars. That is a visa requirement. Now, what we say what the living costs are is for a mature student is about 25,000 New Zealand dollars. That would include your accommodation, your food, and some minor activities. Obviously, this is lifestyle dependent. If you love partying or shopping, or if you travel the country up and down, obviously that is extra budget. In terms of accommodation, there are three options available. Let's start with maybe the least popular option, which is homestay. But if you want to be placed in a New Zealand family, then we are very happy to arrange this. The next popular option is private accommodation. This is something that we cannot book for you, but we do have information on our website where you can find the private accommodation. The most popular option are our halls of residence, and there are two types. There are catered halls and self-catered halls, depending a little bit on your age group, what you can apply for. Now, here you can see where our location buildings are located in relation to the campuses. So you can see they're all in the city center within walking distance to any of the campuses. So it's a very, very convenient location. Now, scholarships. At the moment, we offer some automatic scholarships. They are approved for 2026 and 2027. So for undergraduate programs, it's $15,000 off your first year. And for postgraduate, it is $10,000 off your first year. Now, the scholarships, you don't have to apply for. You actually only apply for the program. If you make it, if you meet the entry requirements and you get an offer from us, the scholarship will automatically apply. Then there are also, we have a doctoral scholarship. So I already mentioned that you only pay domestic fees. However, when you lodge your application for the PhD program, you can actually lodge another application for the doctoral scholarship. And you can see it's quite generous at $32,000 per year and the tuition fees as well. So it's a great scholarship. Then there are some other scholarships, like if you are a New Zealand high school student, international high school student, and so on and so forth. I would appreciate if you go to the website and read a little bit more, because they are a little bit more nuanced and a few of them. So there's a scholarship database where you can find all of the scholarships listed. Student services, I will not touch on all of them because I think most of them are pretty standard amongst many universities. But what I would like to point out is obviously that you receive orientation when you come. So we tell you all about the university, all about Wellington. We tell you about health and safety. We tell you where you can access all of our services and how you do it. We have food available, of course, and so on and so forth. We also offer airport pickup from Wellington. So when you have your flights booked, then go on our website. There is a booking form, and then they will pick you up at the airport and drop you off at your accommodation. And of course, we have a medical center with pharmacy, we have counseling, we have doctors, nurses, and so on and so forth. And there is also academic support if you feel that you need a little bit help in the subject here or there, then you can also book appointments there. We also offer a career development program or support. So this is for when you about to graduate and you're looking for work in New Zealand. If your intention is to stay in New Zealand and maybe make use of your post-study work visa, or if you even have longer plans to stay here, then obviously you need a job unless you're very, very rich. So we can help you with, first of all, we run careers expos on campus where we invite industry to come and talk to you. We have guidance for job applications. We have databases that you can access. There is a mentorship program that you can join with our alumni. We have workshops around CV writing, interview skill training, and so on and so forth. And the best thing is that this service is available to you for 3 years after graduation.
Just very cautious of time.
Yeah.
Martin.
Yes, okay, yep, I'm breaking me up. Here are just a few companies that our students have found employment in. So some of them are big brands, some of them are big brands in New Zealand. So, but yeah, please look them up yourself if there are some here that you do not recognize. Here are our intakes and our application dates. So if you are aiming for trimester 2, which is the next one coming up in July, then you need to lodge your application at the latest at the 1st of May. For November, it's the 1st of September. And if you are thinking of next year's February intake, then you apply by the 1st of December. So last slide here. Why New Zealand? Why us? Obviously, the education quality is high, and we have a wide range of programs to choose from. There are coursework and research options, and all the qualifications are actually recognized in the world. We have there's work rights that you can get while you're studying. There is post-study work rights. There is a good work-life balance, as I said before. It's a very safe environment. It's very green, clean, and beautiful. Yeah, it is a bit more affordable than most of the other major destinations. Also, there's no fee payment in New Zealand until your visa is approved in principle. So it's a very low risk all the way until you actually know that you get your visa for New Zealand. So sorry for that. I got a little bit over time. I forgot to look up at my phone. But yes, so looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
All right, you're on mute.
Thank you, Martin. And sorry, I just went up in any case to make sure we are on track. So I'll give it to Sun. We'll talk briefly about pathway of residence. We'll go to questions immediately. Martin, you're welcome to answer questions, like type an answer if you wanted. If some, great. But Sun, over to you now.
Hi, everyone. Basically, I'm going to go through very quickly. New Zealand's currently provide the most attractive resident pathway from study to residence because if you are aware you're actually aware of other countries' a residency program, you know that New Zealand has the most transparent, most direct pathway. In other countries, you have to do a UI, you have to wait, you have to get a lot selected, and there's a long queue. And some of my clients who actually lost their visa or EOI in Australia, after waited 9 years, they decided to come to New Zealand. But in New Zealand, the moment you meet the requirements, there's no waiting time. They will just they will process your application. Of course, depends on the number of cases on hand with the immigrations. So yep, once you're selected, they will process it. Once you meet the requirement, they will process your applications. This is why currently New Zealand is perhaps the most popular destination for residency pathway. So there are many benefits of coming into studies. Number one is that you potentially, it depends on the level of your study, you're eligible for a post-study work visa. Post-study open work visa is a very, very good option because there's no age limit as to when you can get a post-study work visa, unlike Australia and some other countries. In Australia, it's only up to 35 years old. And why it is a good, because when you have an open work visa, you do not need to engage immigration. You can work with any employer, whether they are accredited or non-accredited. So you can start working. Whether the job is related to your study or not doesn't matter. Okay, so this is why the 3 years post-study work visa is very, very useful for you to gain your foot in the job market, and then work your way up to getting a more skill and higher payroll, and then transition to a residence. Okay, so like Bharat and Martin has spoken about New Zealand, we have a very good conducive study environment. Now, there are two types of post-study work visa. One is the open work visa I just mentioned. If you are doing PhD, master, postgraduate diploma, or bachelor, once you finish, you're either eligible for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years post-study work visa. These are very, very good pathway for you to get into employments and get into the workplace, and then work your way up to become a New Zealand resident. However, if you are doing anything that is level 7 non-degree all over, and it is specified on the green list, okay? Remember the qualifications, not the occupation, okay? So the qualification, if it's specified on the green list, there are two parts of the green list. You are also eligible for post-study work visa, depending on the length of your study. However, this post-study work visa, you just have to be careful. It is not an open work visa. Okay, it is a restricted work visa, meaning that you can only work for a role or a job that's related to your study. Okay, so come and talk to us. We will discuss, and we tell you what is the best option, whether you should go for those non-degree level 7 and below, or you should go for master degree. Okay, so now they are applying for a visa. I mean,
So
everyone's who
now,
are not.
are you okay if we don't cover this for now, so we can cover into a later part? So for everyone, guys, just to update RBS, there are 100+ team members across 17 countries. We don't charge any fees for student visa lodgements or application. So just to give you a heads up, if you are you're welcome to send your CVs for your assessment call with us for 15-20 minutes. There'll be some team member reaching out to you. Now, there will be all visa policies and all things discussed with you, how the admission goes in. I mean, I'm just worried on the pathways. Now, so do we want to talk about residence pathway quickly?
Yeah, basically, current pathway is set based on 6 points. You have, if you come here to do master, you get 5 points, and all you need to do is get another points that is through your skill employment. Okay, and from I think August onwards, there'll be a new scheme whereby if you are doing a master degree in New Zealand, you get 6 points. Okay, but there are certain conditions attached to it. So talk to us. We'll explain to you what are the situation or conditions that you need to meet in order to get 6 points if you do a master degree in New Zealand. Okay, so one of the benefits of coming here to study is that you potentially can bring your partner as well and your children. If you are doing a master degree or any qualification specified on the green list, you're eligible to bring your spouse. When your spouse is here, then your children who are dependent on your spouse can also apply for domestic student visa, and they can come here to do primary and secondary school free of charge. Okay, yeah, talk to us, tell us about your family, then we can work a program, a solution for you.
For all the partnership cases and all, we do have some special offers and discounting for students who apply student visa from RBS. It is just to make sure we discuss on that, but student visa applications, there is no charge except you have to pay immigration fees and all those things which are required by the government bodies. Now we do, as we said, we work with other institutions. So I'll go to Q&A immediately on that. I'll start with one of the anonymous attendee. What is the affordable cost of Masters of Arts for international students for Nepal? Now, just to update, New Zealand do offer qualifications which range from $30,000 to $60,000 for masters for 1 year. We are talking about Victoria University today. Rough range of qualifications is between $48,000 to $60,000. Martin, is that correct? And you're welcome to jump in and say average cost of 120 credit masters.
Sorry, I was typing. I was not listening. So can you repeat the question?
So average fees for masters in Victoria University is ranging from 40, 45, 48 to 60,000 for
They
120
vary.
credits.
So I would say, yeah, it is somewhere late 40s, so 48, 9, up to 75. It depends really. So some of the more specialized programs are a bit more expensive. Yeah.
Again, but guys, there are options with other institutions, but we always want to say that you are choosing institution on the basis of what ranking and what quality they are offering and what programs they are. Now, there's another question: does VUW offer scholarship? Yes, we have seen there are a lot more scholarships offered, and I believe one of the biggest scholarship numbers offered for this year will be Victoria University, if I'm not wrong, because they are a huge range of scholarship. Is Dharminder, I'm from Pakistan. I'm 46-year-old, done masters in social science, have 15-year teaching experience. I'm eligible for teaching education. Yes, Dharminder, you are eligible for qualifications. We want to make sure that you have right choice and right set of qualification to choose from. There are masters of teaching. There's a graduate diploma of teaching options in primary, secondary are available. Please share your CV at hello@rbsintellect.com. We will be able to answer and arrange sessions for you guys. We have Aminul. Do you guys accept exam results from NCUK? So, Martin, over to you. NCUK is accepted, I believe so.
Yes.
But I'll leave it to you.
Do you want me to go through some of those questions and you stop?
Sure, go
tell
ahead
me when
if
to
you want to
stop.
go, Martin.
Yes, yes. Yeah. But what I'm going to do now is requirements. Please visit.
You want to share your screen?
I'm just gonna put a link into the chat box for everyone. This is our link to our website with the English language requirements. So because I have seen a few questions around English, so please visit that page. There you can find all the tests that we accept, where can we have exemptions, etc., etc. So I have put that there. Now coming back to NCUK. Yes, we do accept NCUK. If you go on our website and you put into the search bar NCUK, you can see that we have the NCUK Foundation Program and the Foundation Year International Year, I think it's called, for some programs. So please have a look at the website. You can find it there.
So can I add to that, Martin? If they apply directly, or better, they should go to RBS from their application process. They should not apply directly. Or what is your suggestion here? Apart from going to website, yeah.
From NCUK, it doesn't matter. They still can apply through RBS. It's just their qualification that they need to hold. So it's listed there, but the international year kind of gives you advanced standing into certain programs. So that's why you need to look that up on the website if it applies to you. Is it compulsory to have IELTS? As I mentioned before, there are different ways that you can meet your English language requirements, and there is the link in the website. There is a question here about the scholarship for the Master of Professional Accounting. Will I get any visa application support free from you as long as finding a job? I'm not quite sure what that means, this question. So there is the scholarship, and you get it once you meet the entry requirements and get an offer. You need to then, once you have graduated from your program, within 3 months of graduation, you need to apply for your post-study work visa. And we do have some guidelines on how to do it, but we as a university cannot apply on your behalf.
Okay, so can I add to that, Martin? So if you are applying for scholarship, what we suggest students that please apply for your application. When you get your offer letter, you can also apply for scholarship application, or if university is offering automated scholarship, you get on the offer letter. At same time, visa application for first student visa at RBS, we don't charge. If you're working on your post-study visa application, we have a team based in Auckland. We can support you. It's a very minimum documentation required, but you have to complete your qualification. We will be happy to support on whole journey. Again, finding a job, we like Victoria University have a career coaching support or career counseling support. At the same time, there are a lot of fairs and events. And this for every student from our end at RBS, we do provide some support also in terms of reference and CV making to support student in multiple ways. Over to you, Martin. Next.
spouse are allowed and part-time job allowed. So part-time as a student, you can work as 25 hours per week. If you are in a research-only program, you have even more work rights. Whether you can bring your spouse or not depends on the program that you're studying. There is RBS can probably fill you in, but also Immigration New Zealand has a website called Bringing Your Family where this is outlined. That also then determines whether your spouse has only visitor visa or also can work and so on and so forth. So it depends on what you're studying. What is the highest scholarship a person can get based on their results? So as I said, there is the automatic scholarship. There is also, and I put in here the link to our scholarship database. You can look up what is applicable to you. Please be mindful that some scholarships do not allow to have other scholarships side by side. Some of them do. It is all written in the regulations. So please have a look through that one. Sorry, there's here a student from Kenya, had a diploma in nursing, inquiring Bachelor of Nursing. We do not offer a Bachelor of Nursing. So RBS is well connected to all the other universities as well, and there are some that offer a Bachelor in Nursing. We only offer nursing at postgraduate level.
When there's a Bachelor of Midwifery is option.
Midwifery is, yes, we do offer
Yes,
midwifery. That is an option, but if you want nursing, then other universities would be a better choice. So then I have here a student, Bachelor of Arts, from graduated in 1998. Sales and marketing. I'm interested in a program of MBA. So we do not offer an MBA, we offer an EMBA. So that one requires 5 years of senior leadership work experience. If you have that, then we do have a program for you. If you're looking for an actual MBA, we do not offer that, but we offer a Master of Global Business, which is kind of the alternative to it. And you also have your Master in Public Health Management. Yes, we do offer Master of Health with Health Leadership and Management. However, you would need to have a health background. And I can see you have arts. I don't know what you have done in arts, but you would need to have an an health background.
And the question was about Duolingo.
Duolingo. Yes, Duolingo is accepted. I do not know off the top of my head the requirements, so please have a look at the link that I put in the chat box. There it is listed, but we do accept. I just don't remember the score. I would kindly like to inquire whether any university offer any sponsorship or funding opportunities for international students. I assume this aims at fully funded scholarships. We do not. I am not aware of any university in New Zealand that offers, but I don't want to speak on their behalf. But we do not. We offer partial scholarships, as I have put in the chat box.
If we can talk about when there are optional Manaki scholarship offered by government, but that's the full scholarship at master's level.
Yes, but that's means tested. So that one, and you have to have, I think, at least a year in advance. I think that's how it works. Yeah. Any publication required if we apply for master by research? You need to have research experience. It doesn't necessarily that you have to have things published, but you need to be able to show that you have research experience. That is definitely important. Since that's a bit of a longer one, this is something very specific. So if the ones who have talking to Nick Ashel, please send us an email to international@vou.ac.nz. If it is something individual, we cannot go into specifics today. So please email and then we can get back to you.
I mean, and Mr. Arya, you're welcome. I mean, whoever asked this question, you're welcome to send an email. We are happy to recommend and forward it to Martin also to make sure that we are supporting it in the whole scenario. I mean, there are some options we can give to you, what can be done and where it can be done.
So then I have here a question that someone is applying for engineering PhD and whether they are in contact with a supervisor. Does it give any overall benefit in application acceptance? Yes, it does, because obviously you need to provide an expression of research interest. And that's not a full-blown research proposal. It is kind of a very much scaled down version of it. The academic or our postgraduate coordinators can give you some good directions on how you should word your proposal or the research interest to align better with the requirements. So they will not accept you. That only has to happen through the application process, but they can give you guidance to improve your chances. Are there specific scholarship for South Asian students? No, because we have the automatic scholarships at the moment. They are open to anyone, including South Asia. Hi, I'm inquiring for my son. Is interested in engineering and the other is interested in equatorial science. I would like to know how we can live in New Zealand as well with my sons in university. So I probably would have to hand this over to
Martin,
RBS.
So Tawfiq, if you're welcome, please share your query on our email, hello@RBS Intellect. I believe we will get a meeting arranged soon for you. It'll be 15 to 20-minute consultation to discuss what are the options for you. We depend if you are arriving, you're coming on visitor visa, or any dependent come on a visitor visa, there are different requirements to go in. So for all students who are on this webinar, just remember, if you're applying through RBS, your student visa support is covered around that. I mean, at the same time, when we talk about your dependent cases and all, we have a well-set team of immigration advisor to support you all.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Martin.
Here's a question: is child education not free in New Zealand? Well, it depends. If you are if you are entitled to domestic fees for your children at primary and secondary school, then the state schools are basically free, but you do pay administration fees and stuff like that. But it is minimal.
Technically, I mean, I can answer a bit more on that. It's roughly around $200 to $300 a year as a donation. But again, it depends upon which visa you are and which visa your child is. And soon can add more on that in any case.
Yeah, so if you are at PhD level, there you have that benefit that they automatically get those domestic fees.
I mean, masters also,
For masters,
also.
But I think it depends a little bit how the combination work with the spouse, what they are, and do they come alone with the children or do they come with the spouse and the children? So RBS can probably fill you in. Please email them. They can probably provide you a bit more on that. So then there's a question around English certification, if they have done a CMA in Australia and New Zealand. So again, it depends. How long have you studied in Australia or in New Zealand? When did you study there? You know, how long ago? So please, again, go onto this link that I put in the chat box that will probably answer your question. Courses that align with New Zealand skill shortage list. This is a long list. I know that health programs are often listed in there. There are a few, but not many business programs. I need to hand this over again to RBS when it comes to short skill list. So that is not really my strong suit.
So you want to answer the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, basically, I think you shouldn't just focus on the skill shortage list. You just focus on where your strength is, okay? Because there's a long list of skill shortage. Long list of qualifications that are listed in the green list. But you can't be selecting it without the right background. So focus on where you are strong, where your strength is, and where your backgrounds, and then choose the course that you would like to do. Not just focus on the list. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, do you want to add something?
There's a question on the EAP pathway. Now, just to update, I believe you can get offer letter of EAP, but visas for EAP program from Bangladesh are, when we are recommending student to go for English language testing, If they can, EAP is a last and alternate option. Martin, over to you.
Yes. If they have an offer for another program afterwards, then the visa chances are a bit better. But if they only apply only for EAP, then it is, then the visa chances are probably pretty low.
Yeah.
Looking to pursue Master of Accounting, do you accept DET and Duolingo? Yes, we do. Again, I do not remember the scores. Please have a look at the website, but we do accept Duolingo. When do we have to pay for accommodation? Is it along with the visa? No, you can actually apply for your accommodation even if you don't have an offer for the program yet. So it's a completely separate application process. So yeah, but you do need to then, if you get selected for a hall of residence, you do need to pay a deposit. Okay, that's the only deposit payment that you need to make before you get your visa or anything else. If your visa doesn't come through, you get money refunded, but you do not, those applications are not linked to each other. Okay.
So I just want to add that for students who are applying for study in master's or bachelor's program, they need to show living expenses while applying visa. So if the question was directed for visa side, you need to show $20,000. But if you apply for a hall of residence, then you pay costs or the fees of halls of residence after you get your AIP and visa sorted. Is that correct? I mean, that is where invoice will come in picture and what is availability. Martin, is that okay?
Yeah, so they do need to pay by a certain point, right?
Yeah,
so
they have to pay before arriving. That's
the closer it gets to the intake, there is a cutoff point.
Yeah.
I only remember the time for trimester 1, which is in February. It's usually early January. This is when they have to then actually pay for their accommodation. And there are some last minute exceptions and stuff like that, but let's do not go down there. Let's focus on getting to us in time. There's here a question about medical conditions like diabetes or kidney disease and whether this is a no-go for PR applications. Soon is probably the person to answer.
Yes and no, depends on how complicated your conditions and whether you're eligible for medical waiver. So we can help you to do medical waiver if that is what is required. But yeah, it is more complex and we can't answer you yes or no at the moment.
And at the same time, we will try to avoid any privacy questions on this call because it'll be great if you can email us. We have 15 to 30 minutes free consultation for every student on this call. Again, there's income source question was there. So we can only provide income source details. We need to see a whole case and how it goes. We have talked about PhD and consultation fee for PhD application. So RBS doesn't charge any fees for consultation for PhD application. We can guide you, we can support you on the process. But at the same time, what we suggest, while you are talking to supervisor, if you can copy us, we are happy to guide you what all questions are coming in. It's a process which can take from 3 months to 6 months for getting your PhD synopsis approved from a PhD, from a supervisor. So it takes a bit of time. So we have to start early. Academic requirement for PhD level 10. Martin, I've shared link. Please follow link. It'll be easier. Is that correct, Martin?
Yes, that's right. That's right. My spouse has a first screen paramedics. What's your path to advance? If your spouse want to study with us, then you would probably be looking at a Master of Health. For example, health leadership and management, promotion, or service delivery. That would probably be that program. We do not have clinical programs at master level except for our nursing program. Sure. My child, 18 years old, in class 12 this year in Bangladesh, can she rejoin class 12 in New Zealand? Oh, that's a high school question.
Sure, I can answer this again. Requirement with high school is that one, they need to test a student what level they are. Plus, you have to be below 19. If you are 18 and you are eligible for bachelor's, but they can't accept. And also, state schools can accept you at year 12 or year 13 here, which we call. But if they don't meet the criteria of 18 or 19, they have to pay full fees, which is around $15,000 to $20,000. They will be not discounted with any fees under the category. So again, whoever person is that, if you're welcome to send an email, we can provide more details what level you are. Soon, you want to add something?
Yeah, basically, alternatively, if you are thinking of sending your child to do as an international student, you can enroll in a foundation course.
Yeah, that will be much easier. And Victoria University have options of foundation leading to bachelor's, which you can do, which can waive off your year 12 or year 13 in New Zealand. Is that correct, Martin?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
There is one question here that I would actually like to talk a little bit more in detail. Here's, will I get scholarship for postgraduate diploma program? Yes, our postgraduate diploma program are also eligible for the automatic scholarship. Now, with the postgraduate diploma programs, there is one thing that I would like to point out because I think a lot of people got surprised. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. If the post-study work visa that you're eligible for post-study work for a postgraduate diploma versus a master degree are different, 1 year versus 3 years. Now, a lot of students intend to start with a postgraduate diploma and then upgrade to the master degree. So most master degrees are 180 points, and your postgraduate diploma takes up about 120 of those 180 points. So that's about a years of study. So the other 60 points are then wrapped up within one trimester. That's usually 3-4 months. That is not 30 weeks. So what we have learned is that if you are staircasing into the master program, the master section must also at least be a year to be entitled for the 3 years post-study work visa from the master. If it is 180 points master and you staircase from a postgraduate diploma, you will only get the 1 year post-study work visa from the postgraduate diploma. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And you did very well, Martin. And again, we recommend student, if you've done 1 year postgraduate diploma, better go for a 1 year master's after that. Don't do 6 months or 1 trimester or 60 credit masters. That will not help you any post-study work, right, except 1 year. But it becomes a problem also. Sometimes they do. Your last qualification is 1 trimester masters. You may end up losing that 1 year post-study work, right, also. But I think immigration have clarified on that. Soon you want to add on that.
Yeah. Basically, talk to us, then we can guide you the pros and cons of enrolling in a postgraduate diploma. And we do have students that started with postgraduate diploma, but realizing that they don't get the 3-year post-study visa, immediately they change to master. But if you can do the early change, that is is good for you. But if you have almost finished, then you change, then it's a bit too late.
I mean, the only thing that if universities allow you to get a PG certificate and then go to master's for 1 year, that's something which, Martin, we can discuss. I mean, that is a very different hard case here because you're changing your qualification and it takes time. So guys, this is where we recommend everyone, please be careful what you're applying, how you're applying. That is one of the reasons we are very careful that we don't charge. We're happy to guide you. Even if you don't go with RBS, we are still happy to guide you with the right option. We don't want to end up into cases where, and we get a lot of cases where they have chosen wrong pathway and they're expecting more outcomes. And another addition to PG diploma students, if you want to bring your spouse, you can't bring spouse on your PG diploma qualification. You have to go for a master's to bring your spouse and dependent kids. Soon you want to add, except you are not on a green list. Yeah.
No, I think he's talking about sibling. You can't bring sibling. Sibling has to be.
No, that's a separate question. I was just
separate.
talking about the last question, PG diploma. Your siblings are not allowed in any case.
Yeah, PG dip, if it's not on the green list, then you can't bring a spouse.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I mean, sibling is a bit. Now, I've been a job placement for accountant auditor. I mean, we don't provide job options. There are options that seek. If you're offshore candidate, it is a bit unlikely till the time your employer goes out and do market check for auditors and accountants in New Zealand. Okay.
There's also a question about financial details that students need to keep. We are
happy to help one on that. We provide this option, and these all support in visa application is there, that is where, again, from your first counseling till visa lodgement and getting visa outcome, there is a service provided from multiple teams at RBS, and we don't charge for anything. So please reach out to us. We are happy to support you. Souvik Sarkar, I think we have covered this question multiple times. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the scholarship applies. The scholarship applies for 120 points. So whether your program is 1 year or 2 years, anything that exceeds 120 points, the scholarship applies for that part. So I
Great.
think that's
I
that.
mean, the question was again, do you offer visa application fee assistant? I mean, visa application is $850 for student visa that is to be paid by student to immigration, except there are no charges. How many people from Bangladesh study in this university? Yeah,
Oh, that's a good
I believe their
question.
numbers are good. Yeah, numbers are
The
growing, which I see that.
the numbers are growing. So we do have Bangladesh. Traditionally, it was probably a bit more challenging to get visa for New Zealand. So that's why the number from Bangladesh was fairly low. But Immigration New Zealand has been very favorable with Bangladesh for the last, I would say, 12 months at least.
Yeah,
So our number from Bangladesh are growing. We do not have a huge community yet, but we do have. You will not be the only one, if
yeah.
that answers your question.
I mean, like rightly said, Martin, the last 12 months, Bangladesh national immigration have made rules a bit more, or they've bent down some rules. Before that, it was a bit hard to get visa. So, I mean, it's a good time. You're welcome to apply. From RBS this year, we have supported around 48 students from Bangladesh only to New Zealand. So we are seeing there's a good uptake of numbers and visas.
Yeah, yeah. Master in Early Childhood Education. No, we don't. We offer a graduate diploma in early childhood education teaching. At Master, we only offer for primary and secondary school. RBS help finding students a job after graduation. So we have a team. I don't know if you do anything, but we do have a team for that. Yeah.
So I mean, RBS have two career coaches, which are also registered recruitment consultants. So we do support, and we do have partnered with certain recruitment companies. Again, Victoria University have more bigger support than RBS, but we try to provide support to every student if you need it. We do have our career coaching uh, plans also, where if students want to choose, they can choose coaches with interview and other options with companies.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's a question, any part-time options at the university? Yes, there are, but it all depends what is available at the time. So, and the hourly pay, I do actually not know. But there's a second question from the one afterwards that ties into that a little bit. Also, the question is it sufficient for a single person for managing living costs? So you are as a student, for example, in a taught program, you can work 25 hours per week and full-time during any scheduled holidays. If you're a research student, you usually have full-time work rights. So there's a minimum wage in New Zealand, which I can't remember how much is, $23 something.
I think
Does
it's
anyone?
24 something now.
Okay. So somewhere around that figure.
Yeah.
So you cannot actually be paid below that. Obviously, it depends on how much your employer wants to pay you, but that's kind of the bare minimum. You can do the maths if you are a taught master or taught student and you have to 25 hours per week, you can do the math how much you can earn with that minimum wage. That would be your baseline. But yeah, it really depends on the job that you get and how much you will be paid.
Great. There are a few more questions coming down from, courses and option professional business analytics. There are certain courses offered by
Yep.
VUW.
They can join in
Yeah,
July. That one is offered
agreed.
there. Is there any
Yeah,
pathway program for paramedics? I think we had that question before. We don't offer paramedic program. So if this is the question to get into a paramedic program, we do not offer that. If you are a paramedic and you want to study something, then as I said, for example, our Master of Health would be an option.
there's a
I'm
question
a,
from Richard John about Philippine
I'm
National Police. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, Martin.
I'm a licensed nurse currently, police with rank of corporal from the Philippines National. Am I qualified for master program? Yeah. So
Yeah,
if you have
yeah.
a bachelor's degree, and it depends what kind of program you want to go into, right? So yes, you do. In general, it really just depends on the circumstances. Is Duolingo accepted for visa? Visa does not require English tests. That's only for the
Yeah,
university where you have to
it's
prove
actually for
your
university.
English.
So So we have got some visas with Duolingo also. So yes, it is accepted. But for visa, like Martin said, immigration doesn't want to see English if it has been approved and agreed by institution, and you have unconditional offer letter.
Does NZ accept brother-in-law as a sponsor if applying for Pakistan? How much financial?
When technically it's not accepted, you are only accepted with spouse, siblings, maternal and paternal parenting side. So again, Mohammed, we have some guidelines for Pakistan recently. There are some changes also, and we have got around 11 students this in last 6 months. So I've been happy to help Kashif, Mohammed Kashif from there. It'll be great. Please, guys, you're welcome to please email your details with CVs. We are happy to reach you out. We have offices and team in 17 different countries, if I'm not wrong, practically to support you, and we support from multiple regions.
Do you just want to touch on how long a spouse visa takes, roughly?
Soon, roughly it is between 4 to 6 weeks,
Well,
but soon you want to add.
Yeah, it takes around 1.5 months. It depends on how good your supporting documents. Yeah.
Okay. I'm skipping the questions now regarding scholarships. I think we have touched on that multiple times.
And we will be having 3 minutes only before this webinar will be closed. So Martin,
that is all right. What's the difference between entry requirements for 1 year MA and 1.5 years Master of Communication? So our MA programs are research only, and the Master of Communication is a taught master. So for the MA, you would need to provide a research proposal and find a supervisor. For the Master of Communication, that is not required. Are there any applications fees? No, we do not charge application fee. I've done Bachelor in Australia, Master in the UK, now work in the UK. I'm currently working UK, finished studies in 2022. Can I get an English waiver? I would say to 90% yes. How much application fee? No application fee. How many tertiary qualifications have you studied or completed at other institutions? How can I get this? Sorry, I don't understand the question. How many tertiary qualifications have you studied or completed at other institutions? How can I get this? I'm not quite sure what that question means.
I can simply say that if you've done multiple qualifications in various institutions, you are, you can go to a different institution. It's just, if I say, you can only get post-study work visa once. You can't go multiple post-study work visas.
Yeah.
If you're asking about Martin's qualification, that is not necessary for today. I've ensured that we have a lot.
I only have one bachelor, so that's it.
Yeah. So we're not talking about that today.
Question how residence pathway works. I guess this is something that you guys need to probably get a little bit more in detail.
Yes.
Living cost need to show for visa, for me, spouse, and one child, 4 years old.
So there is a requirement for there is $5,000 plus $15,000 requirement for partner cases, and again, let's see the case for everyone who are asking about dependent cases, because we are very careful what we are answering. There are some policies, some things have to be clarified. I will request everyone, please email us for any specific questions, because this is a generic open webinar. We will be happy to offer you guys for more details.
Okay.
Sorry,
we only have a few more questions. Hepatitis B, does it affect in visa application?
Okay, what happened is that if you have hepatitis B and it will be flagged, and then you may need to go through some tests, and at the same time, it depends on the in terms of medical terms, whether they are carrier or you just outright about hepatitis B. So yeah, it will be flagged by the medical assessor.
Yeah, and there's another question about the visa application fee.
That student visa is $850 New Zealand by Immigration New Zealand currently. If tomorrow it changes, we don't know yet. For now, when Perfusion Technology Bachelor's graduate.
The last question.
Yes.
We do not have medical programs, so that would not be our university.
Yeah, but if you are looking, there's only Master of Health Leadership program, which you can apply because you're from health background.
But I think they're looking for cardiovascular or
when there are very limited programs.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be Uni Auckland or Otago University.
Correct.
Great. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Soon. It was a great session. We managed to got over time, but good to see a lot of people joining in. Any few minutes or few seconds, Martin, you want to add, or Soon, you want to add?
Oh, just thank you very much for joining. I hope this was useful. Please get in touch with RBS if you have any questions. They can help you with application as well as visa. And yeah, look forward to meeting some or all of you on campus.
Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it. Soon, over to you.
Yeah, I think like Martin say, if you are interested to come to New Zealand, talk to us, do some planning. You need to do a lot of planning because to show source of fund, we'll guide you how to show source of fund. Sometimes it's not just as simple as having money in your bank account. So talk to us and then we'll guide you how long you need to prepare the funds and all that.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Again, we will be getting up with some more webinars. Thank you again for joining in. Appreciate all questions. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, or wonderful morning, wherever